So now we are going to talk about software, research software. Okay.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My presentation is less of a presentation and more of a hands-on demonstration. So let me share the screen. I require a special setup. Right, and if we can maybe move it. Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So, hello, once again. My name is Terézia Slanináková, and I'm in the business of creating research software. So I figured I could give you some like hands-on demonstration of how I go about, when I have the research software, how I go about verifying it. I have a few slides, and then we'll go to the hands-on thing. So first of all, we will talk about fair research software versus open software, which is a concept that is much older. We will contrast these two. Then I will show you briefly where you can access these two different resources regarding what fair research software is. And then we'll move to the demo itself. So first of all, I think I don't have to motivate you that much about creating fair research software. Why would we want to do that? First of all, it improves reproducibility and reuse, which we of course want. Second motivation could be that it increases visibility and citations of your, let's say, research output, not only the software itself. And the third motivation might be the most motivating one. It may come a time where it would be required by funders and by journals. So it's nice to get ahead a little bit. So if you're an IT person, the chances are you have heard of open software, you haven't heard of fair software. So let's maybe contrast these a little bit. So first of all, the focus of open software is about freedom of access and freedom to take a software output of someone and adjust it based on your needs. The focus on fair software is research usability. So the similarities of these two are licensing, versioning, and clear documentation. The differences is that fair cares about additional stuff. So persistent identifiers, machine-readable metadata, interoperability standards, and citation information. As Michal mentioned before me, fair doesn't necessarily mean open. So it doesn't necessarily have to be deposited in a public repository, for example. In contrast, in open software, we care about openness and about publicness and depositing our software in a public repository. So the two publications that introduced research, fairness for research software, was this Fair for Research Software initiative, which in 2022 published this open paper, of course, about these fair research principles. You basically have a list of what these are and how do they relate to the FAIR acronym. And then 2 years later, these RSMD guidelines were published, and you can also access them through Zenodo and also through this link, where you have them written out like this, and also there are some discipline-specific metrics for social sciences. You can basically look at the specific description of each metric, connect it to the FAIR for Research Software publication, the previous one, and connect them also to these RMSD identifiers. If you Google this, it will lead you to this web page, which also has some very specific pointers for you. So I understand. This will be fun. I understand the first one, the FAIR for Research Software principles, to basically describe the goal which you want to achieve, and the guidelines to be the guidebook of reaching the goal. So these provide the practical how-to and practical step-by-step steps for implementing a given metric. So I would like to tell you that there exists a service somewhere where you can just copy-paste your GitHub repository link and it will tell you you have reached fairness of 20% or something. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So the biggest evaluator of research, of fairness of research artifacts is Fuji, and currently it only works for datasets. Just to be sure, I quickly checked it before. I put in my GitHub link over there, and it told me that I'm trying to evaluate a software as a dataset, and it will not work. So, to be fair, there are initiatives trying to extend this Fuji evaluator. It is a public repository on GitHub, so you can contribute to work for research software, but we're really at the beginnings, and such tool does not exist yet. However, what does exist is are some other resources I already mentioned. GitHub, if you are in the business of creating software that you want to be public, you probably are aware of GitHub and are using it. Zenodo is a public generic data repository that also has good communication with GitHub. You can basically achieve creating a persistent identifier for research software. We will see that later. And there is this code meta generator for improving basically interoperability of like specific, giving basically your repository with code specific metadata that machines and humans can read. So that's about it. Right now, for the rest of the presentation, I will show you a live demonstration of how I will try to improve fairness of my research software. This research software is very young. I created it like 5 days ago, so hopefully it will be research software someday. And yeah, we'll see how the situation with microphone and my two hands will work. But maybe I can try to like freestyle it like this, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, great. All right, so I named this slide 20% of actions to make your software 80% fair. I don't know if you're familiar with, it's called 80-20 rule or Pareto principle, where you invest 20% of your effort at the beginning to get 80% of the outcome. And I think the fairness of research software works well like this. You really can do just like a couple of simple steps to get you to a very nice verification state that does not have to be like perfect. So this checklist includes, first of all, licensing information. Licenses were already mentioned, but they apply to research software as well. Then documentation via a README file. If you're a programmer, you probably are aware of README files. You are using them. We'll see how to make them maybe more understandable in terms of fair. The third point is using some code meta JSON. These are the interoperability and findability attributes that machines would use to like, discover your repository. Then having a clear release lifecycle of your software, having a persistent identifier, specifically through Zenodo, and having some tests and some badges on your research software. So having some sort of continuous integration set up that would basically on a given change in the repository verify something. So, okay, let's start. This is my GitHub repository. It's a web application that does something that's not important in this for this purpose. Let me try to enlarge it a little bit so that you can see it good. Is the text seeable all the way to the back? More or less? Okay, let me try to maybe do this and we'll see. All right, so the first thing on our checklist, we had the license file. So of course you can operate with your code for your research software on your local computer and then commit and push to GitHub. I will try to do it live on GitHub just to show you that GitHub has really nice integrations with all these things that we will try to do. So first of all, if you click on this plus button, you can create a new file, which we will do just now. And GitHub asks you, what do you want to name your file? And we can go ahead and do license. And when I type license in, this special keyword, it will provide this choose license template button, which I will click on. There's some warning that I can just ignore. And here I have a specific page that GitHub provides that will help me choose license for my research software, or for my software in general. So I can go ahead and choose MIT license or something like Creative Commons license. Let's go with MIT. When I click on it, GitHub will tell me some sort of quick information about the license. So there are some limitations, there are some permissions. Again, what license will you choose depends on you and your software and your use case. Let's right now go with the MIT. It will ask me about the current year, which will be pre-filled, and about my full name, which it also has pre-filled because I'm logged in as me. So I can review and submit. Right, and now I've gotten to this point where GitHub pre-filled everything that I need for my license. I don't have to type it out or look at it, look for it somewhere. We can commit changes. It is still Git, so I need to do like this add and commit of any change to the repository. And now I have a license file, which I committed just now. And it is the MIT license, and it looks like this. It does not need any sort of further edits. And also GitHub provides this nice window over right here, showing you some information about the license. Okay, so that was the license. The license contributes to the reusability fair principle, and yeah, other people will know how to use your software. Then a README file. So README files are something that GitHub automatically creates for you when you create a new repository. So you probably have already a README file. The important thing is your README file should contain information about the purpose of your research software, about the installation, and about the usage. So I tried already to put this in order, so it will have some information. It will have information about installation. So it's a front-end application, so I have Node technology set up here. It has some information on the usage, so how can one take it, what kind of code can one add or adjust to give a specific outcome, and I have some further information here. So in this case, I would say the README as it is sufficient to fill these metrics. So I've got purpose, I've got installation, and I've got usage instructions there. Okay, next, let's maybe skip these two for now, and let's move to Zenodo. And if you were to take just one piece of information out of this presentation, it's that you can make persistent identifiers via Zenodo with your GitHub repository. So to demonstrate it, when you go to Zenodo, it will ask for your login, and if you log in through GitHub, if you do this for the first time, it might need some like checks with GitHub to ensure you're giving it permissions to use your data and stuff. I already did that, so this is my account. And when I go to GitHub over here, let me enlarge it a little bit. I go to GitHub over here. This page has all of my repositories. It contains lists of all of my GitHub repositories, and I can also sync it. So if you just created your repository just now, you might need to sync for Zenodo to take note. And you can also see that I have already added this persistent identifier to 5 of my repositories. So right now we're trying to do something with the repository that's called molview spec search. Let me find it. It's over here. And here I will just toggle this on button. And when I do that, and I will click on the link to the GitHub, it will tell me, okay, you're all set. Now go to GitHub and make your first release. So release is a specific thing that you can do with your repository, and it's shown over here. So as you can see, I have no releases published. So first of all, I need to create a new release. So let's go here. To do that, there's some naming practice. GitHub will guide you through it. So we will first need to create a tag. So I will go to choose a tag and do v001. We'll create a new tag. And the release title can be just the name of the tag. Of course, if you have some functionality that you, let's say, changed and you have like a second version, you can write some notes about your release. All right, so I can publish the release. And the release marks some kind of important event in the repository history. So this is like the first release important event. And when we go back to the Zenodo, now where do I have it? Yeah, here. I go back to the Zenodo. I refresh the page, and it already has this V001. It already took notice of that, so we can actually just go ahead, and it also created the DOI already, right? Just because I asked Zenodo to create the DOI, then I moved back to the GitHub and created the release. Now it already has the DOI. So what I can do here, when I click on this, Zenodo is telling me, okay, you can take this, and you can include this as your batch in your README, which is always a good idea to basically show on the front page what your, that there's some guarantee about the fairness of your research software. So I will do that, and I will quickly modify my README. Okay, I need to do that on a separate branch, but it should work. And as you can see, we've gone through DOI via Zenodo, and we also created this version tag or release, which is tied to the creation of the persistent identifier. And that's how we improved reusability and findability of our research software. We right now have some provenance information, and we have the persistent identifier. Right, okay. Let me see if I can do this quickly. All right, let's save this. Yeah. Okay. So it didn't really go through. But in any case, what you will achieve by doing this, so let me show you on a different repository. You will have this badge over here that says, okay, you have this DOI, and this DOI is actually usable when I go to this link that I copied. It will point me to the Zenodo page that has this specific release of my research software open and present. Okay, so the last thing is tests or badges. Badge is something that we tried to add for the Zenodo thing. So these are 2 badges that are telling me, okay, this research software exists at this persistent identifier, and its continuous integration is passing. The continuous integration bit is something that you basically set up for your research software based on your needs. Typically, it contains some building information, and on change to the repository, automatic pipeline will pass and build your software so that you ensure that it can be built. And also some tests can be added to that. So these would also increase reusability and interoperability, and you can add these badges here as such. Let me see if we have space for maybe demonstrating the CI pipeline. Right now, I don't have any continuous integration set up for the repository, but I can do just that by, where am I? Let me see. Okay, let's go to the master branch. I can create a new file. And in the GitHub workflows repository, I can do some random file. So when I try to create a file in GitHub workflows, so GitHub automatically provides me with some templates that I can use, and I could try to like search for like Node application here, the Node environment. But honestly, in this day and age, I just like to use ChatGPT. So let's try that. Give me a simple Node.js application build for GitHub workflows. Of course, if your research software is something else than front-end application, you would do something else. Right. And what we're interested in is this GitHub workflows Node.js YAML. So I will just copy that and paste the contents here. It has the specific language and format. Basically, what it would do is to just check out the repository with specific version of Node.js. That's the technology I'm running on, and run npm install, which installs the environment and then run npm tests. We can do run build, for example, and it will do npm build of my application, or whatever you want. Let's maybe skip this step and just see what the installation would do. You can commit changes. And as I did that, you can see this dot over here, which means that a pipeline was set up that is queued right now and will be, it's already running. So all of the steps that we defined are being performed, and if the pipeline passes, we get a green check mark of like passing, and you can also include this check mark in the similar way that you included the persistent identifier. So you've got this CI passing then over there. Right. So I guess that's mostly it. So let me conclude the presentation. Some tips and takeaways. First of all, use GitHub. You can also use some other softwares, but they do not have such a strong ecosystem of various other tools that you can use to make your software more fair. You can start small. You don't have to reach like perfect fairness, and always just very simple 2-3 steps that we saw can get you 80% there. And use available tools and checklists that you will of course find on the internet. Okay, thank you very much.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Terka.
Yeah, sure.
This was really hands-on experience. So questions? Over there, please.
Thank you for nice presentations. You skipped 2 things on your list.
Okay.
Can you get to this?
Okay. What do you?
There was this citation and version tech. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Version tech, I mentioned that we already did with when we're doing the DOI with Zenodo. So we created the tag and a release. I apologize for skipping this one. Let me get to it real quick. So for the citation CFF, the situation is similar to the license file. So when you type citation CFF, it will tell you, okay, let's learn more about citation files, and we can insert example. And you've got this pre-filled, so let me make it bigger. You've got this pre-filled template that you can just put your names into, your ORCIDs, and your DOI, which we already have. And you will have like clear citation information. Okay, we can commit real quick. And when you've done this, yeah, let me go here. You get this, yeah, you get this Cite This repository button, which people can use to just copy paste this citation information that will be automatically generated from this citation file. So that's a nice feature. So the second thing also on the list is code meta JSON. I kind of skipped this purposefully. This code meta JSON file is best generated by this code meta generator, which you can just Google, and it's this form, which I don't know how about you, but I don't find this very inviting to fill it. But when you take the effort and you fill all the fields that it wants you to, you can go ahead and generate code meta JSON, and I can just quickly show you how it looks like in a different repository. It looks something like this. So again, in a interoperable format, you get all the information that you filled in, and you can work with this further, and you are discoverable by machines as well.
Okay, so, thank you. Answer your question, right? Or do you want to comment more?
Thank you for the answer. This shouldn't be done somehow once and copy to the other work you create, or you have to done it each time?
I mean, ideally, but you know, you always probably have different collaborators and do things maybe for different grants, and I don't find it to be that interchangeable in different repositories. But
for
yeah,
example,
for
the license or the citation.
Sorry?
For example, the license, that's always the same, I think, or the repeatable things.
Yeah. I mean, license you probably can, but license is like the easiest to fill in. The citation, I guess, differs based on your also collaborators. Yeah, I didn't find there to be like easy copy paste among different research software for me personally of the files. But you know, once you fill this out once for one research software, it kind of just stays there and lives its own life. So.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Other question? Here in front. And I will ask, do we have something at Slido? Yes, okay, so after that.
So thank you for presentation. Might be stupid question. You were using GitHub. Mm-hmm. Is the GitLab or contains GitLab the same or similar features?
I would say no. That's why I would prefer using GitHub. So we are using GitLab internally in our organization. It works well, but for like public outreach, I find GitHub to be more useful. For example, I don't know if the Zenodo integration works with GitLab.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because that's fine. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. And Slido?
Okay, there is one question in Slido. Assigning DOI via Zenodo also means the particular snapshot of the source code from GitHub is independently stored and archived in Zenodo, right?
Yes, I believe that's exactly what it does. Yeah.
Thank you. Other questions? Or Slido only one? Okay, So basically, I would thank Terka once again.
Thank you.
And just please don't leave. I would like Tomáš, Michal, and Terka, if you can come here a little bit in front of here, that we meet as workshoppers. And what I wanted to say, yeah, for example, I can see colleagues here from Franklin Centrum, that's based a new research center at Masaryk University. And basically one of the things was, let's show us how to do data management plan, but basically that doesn't mean that they want a data management plan for the project. They want basically data architecture for whole the centrum, you know. So sorry to taking you as an example, but this is how the notion about what is needed in the data field, what for example Tomáš presented at the presentation about the laboratory of Mafil, or the theoretical concept that Michal presented on the start, are combining together and with the software, of course, in the end. So I would use this, I would say 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any questions regarding this topic, for example, how this is combined together, etc., because it should be hands-on. And of course, our colleague from Franklin Center can use this time as well. But this should be open for everyone, of course. So do you have any other questions? I just wanted to package it a little bit. Yeah. And I know that I'm over pushing because it's afternoon, yeah, but maybe one or two questions, but don't worry. If not, we will finish. Okay, one more question. Good.
Thank you very much. My question is, this GitHub, that's, I think, commercial thing. And there is some plan to make something like this on EOS world. Thank you.
So maybe I will ask Michael because of these services of National Repository Platform.
The quick question is no. And the longer answer is, in fact, we didn't thought, or this particular function was not required, as far as I know, by no one during the design of NRP. But as I mentioned in my talk, NRP is definitely supporting API. So there is definitely no problem to implement this integration that we have seen with Zenodo. One more thing is that NRP is not built on one particular technology. From the beginning, we have at least 3 different software platforms for data repositories, and all of them will provide API for interaction with them. So if you are going if you are requiring similar functionality, you can deploy, for example, your local installation of GitLab. We have heard about GitLab. That's open source software that provides similar functionality like GitHub. And GitLab also provides API. So I don't know technical details of the API possibilities of GitLab, but I am almost sure it will be possible to do something similar. And I think that's an important observation, that we really need API and machine actionability with all components of the platform, as that's exactly what can be done. If you have new idea, new requirement, you can implement it.
I have one following question. Is planned to implement or deploy some centrally managed GitLab in an NRP platform?
I don't think so. In fact, NRP is from the beginning more focusing on the research data. And again, we see that software is something that will closely follow the data. And we all see that data are not usable without proper software. and software integration. So yes, the next steps, we will have to focus more on integration with software and software pipelines. But again, part of NRP implementation in VP5 is task on integration of computational resources like infra CZ is providing. So NRP will be you can interact with NRP from computational resources like Metacentrum, for example.
Maybe I will add a little bit of context here. On the European level, there is the Opportunity Area 7 within the EOSC Association that started recently, I would say, and that is dealing, you had one of the second link, it was from Maureen Guns. Sorry, I don't remember the exact surname of Maureen. So yeah, they are leading these discussions, and it's very vivid discussions. And you can apply for this open access group on the EOSC Association webpage, basically eosc.eu, not CZ, but EU. And it's very good. Actually, there are experts across Europe and as well on the from America or United States. That's one thing. So definitely the research software is slowly getting there, you know, and the EOSC is, as was mentioned by Michael, it's about data, but on the European level, the data or the digital objects means publication data and software. So if you take it in this direction, so basically the next steps is the software. From the infrastructure point of view, basically all national repository platform is going to be built on open source. So of course, we need some repositories where to store the original infrastructure, basically. So definitely it's just a next step, you know, to create something like Tomáš was asking. And definitely we will get there, basically. So there is no barrier to not do that. But because the whole EOSC ecosystem is more focused on data now than the software, so this is the reason why we were not basically thinking it. And the last context, what Zdeňka mentioned as well about communities. So we have the working group on basic services that Michael is leading. So we can discuss these topics, I would say, within the Czech community in this basic or core services working group. Okay. Last call. Slido, anything? No? Last call in the audience? Oh, okay. Good job. And can you state your name, please, and where are you from? Thank you.
I'm Rustam Edlin from Pilsen.
Oh.
And the last question is more general. If there will be the recording or the presentation somewhere to download. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And with that, we can close it. So one big applause once again for our workshoppers, Terka, Tomáš, and Michael. And Terka, please, this is for you. Thank you very much. So, and we come to the end. So this is really the end. You will be able to download the presentation on our webpage. We are going to do some follow-up communication on our social media and on our webpage. And in Czech, we say zazvonil zvonec, pohádky je konec. So that's really the end. Enjoy your trip back home. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon also for the online participants. And it was a pleasure, and see you next time. Thank you very much.